Hi, welcome back. If you remember last week, I tried making Indian dosas, i.e. pancakes wraps with sushi rice, and it was a little bit gritty. So as I promised, I have been soaking pudding rice to remake it. So here's the recipe again. So dosa batter, pudding rice that's soaked overnight in 800ml of water, 100 grams of urad dal soaked, a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds and half a teaspoon of salt. That now needs grinding down in the food mixer. There's the pudding rice, if I move that out of the way. And this is the soaking urad dal. I've drained the rice off because it was a bit starchy. I'm going to leave this liquid in the urad dal. So I need to put the rice into my food processor, and I'm going to slowly add water to it until it gets to be a smooth paste. Okay, let's see what this has done now. Okay, it might be my imagination, but it does look a bit smoother. That's been grinding now for about 10 minutes. So, as before, I'm going to put it into a bowl, grind down the urad dal, and ferment it overnight. And then, watch this space tomorrow. Okay, this has been whisking, wow, for about 10 minutes. See how thick that is. Oh, that's very thick. Okay, I'm going to thin that down a little when I mix the two together, I think. So I'm going to I've added the salt, and I'm going to add the rice mixture back so I can whisk the two together. And then I'll probably add a little bit of liquid to thin it. I won't do too much, because I can always thin it tomorrow after it's been sat overnight to ferment. So we'll go with this, and then we'll cover it and leave it overnight and see how we go. Okay, now we've put the dosa to one side so it can sit overnight to ferment. I also now need to prepare the chicken because I'm going to make a spicy chicken filling for it. This is a recipe I sort of made up from one of my dad's friend's mums, who used to make a butter chicken. So I sort of taken her recipe, because it was dead secret and no one was allowed it, and made up my own. So you can actually make this into a curry, but for this I'm going to leave it as a dry version. So let's put that to one side. I've chopped 2 chicken breasts, little chunks, and to that I'm going to add some onions. There's a lot of onion here actually. I might have gone a bit overboard on the onions. The horrible bit is mixing all together. I think I have to grab a spoon for that one. Okay, and to that I'm also adding all the spices. So in here I've got the garlic, I've got cumin, coriander, ginger, ground ginger, and this is a chilli paste from Hungary called Eros Pista, and it's basically just crushed chilies, so it's evil, but we'll see how it goes. Right, chuck that all together. Then I'll mix it well, and then cover it in cling film and store it in the fridge overnight to marinate. See you tomorrow morning. Hi, welcome back. I was going to cook the dosas yesterday, but I got a bit waylaid and very busy, so I stored the batter in the fridge overnight. So it fermented, and then as per the recipe, I chilled it. It can be used up to 7 days. Obviously it's only day 1. So just about to prepare my lunch. Right, here's the mixture. As you can see, it's nicely fermented. Again, it's still a little thick, so I am going to thin that down before I start cooking it. So still, again, it's still a bit gritty. We might find that actual rice flour itself works much better, but we'll experiment with that. First of all, to make today's lunch, I have the chicken marinating overnight with some onion and various spices. I'm now going to pan fry that and then put it to one side while I make the dosas. I know I've said it before, but smell-o-vision would be really useful here. So I'm just going to add all the onions and the juice because that's what the flavour is. I'm going to fry that gently while I prepare the dosas. Obviously it goes without saying, if you're cooking raw chicken, make sure it's completely cooked through. That smells amazing. Right, I'm going to put that on a back ring while I prepare the pancakes. I'll stir that periodically while everything heats. Look, purchased a new fish slice to help me lift them. I'm just going to get some water. I've got the flame on high to heat the pan. There was a debate in the on Facebook about whether the pan should be hot or cold. I personally, I'm going to go for hot and see what happens, because that's how I make pancakes. So let's just almost make it the same, really. Right, it's probably about 150 ml of water in here. As you can see, it's thinned down. So this is more the consistency of a pancake, or how I make my pancakes. Look out for that recipe to come, because it's Shrove Tuesday very soon. So I'm going to prepare pancakes in a week or so, just to add something exciting to the mix. Okay, flame's on, oil's heating. Let's go for it. Oh, as you can hear, it's spitting. It's quite runny. Oh, there's the sizzle that I like to hear. There's only a tiny bit of oil in here. As I said before, with pancakes, you know, you might lose the first one because it's too greasy, and then it ends up getting better. Just a little bit more. While that's just cooking underneath, I'm just going to get a plate out so I can stack them. That's still a little bit too thick. I'm going to thin that down even more. Which will stir the chicken. I always put a piece of kitchen roll between pancakes just to keep them warm and soft while I'm making the rest. I know these are officially supposed to be crispy, so again, it's all trial and error. The whole purpose of these cookery demonstrations are that I do the trial, so you don't have to. Pick which one you like. Excuse my boiler rumbling in the background. It's all to add authenticity to a cooking. That's moving around nicely. I'll let it cook a little bit more underside. Okay, right, it's brown underneath, so I'm going to flip it over. See, I've done that about 1,000 times, haven't you? Right, so let that cook underneath. I'm going to flip it back again in a minute, just to make sure it's completely cooked through. What I'll do is I'll make quite a few. And okay, the first one's come out. I am going to just add a little bit more water to my batter to make it a little bit thinner. I'm concerned that it's still a bit thick. This will end up being too thin now, but we'll have a go and see. Right, it's properly heated as well. Love that sound. Can you hear the chicken sizzling in the background as well? I'm just going to move that round just to One thing I do like about my job is I get to eat all this food. The glass is always half full. You could put a little bit of tomato actually in with the chicken if you wanted. Maybe a bit of squeeze of tomato puree, or if I was making a curry, as in a wet curry, I would add to this a tin of tomatoes or a couple of fresh tomatoes and some chicken stock, and then let it cook down, and then before serving just stir in some natural yogurt, and it'll be a bit like a tikka masala, a little bit, or a merg mahani actually if you cooked it in butter as well. Right, let's see how we're doing. Oh, that's what I like to see. That is quite nice and thin. Okay, so when do you turn it? Aha! That's what I want to see. Nice and cooked on the underside. This is the last one. The mix made about 10 pancakes roughly. As you can hear, that's quite nice and crispy. So I'm going to serve that slowly. Okay, I'm going to fill one. Just check that's off. With some chicken. I have to bring it this way. Oh, I've just stirred a little bit of coriander into my chicken. Lovely. And if you want, you can fill with a dollop. I've made a sort of a raita just with cucumber, natural yogurt, a little bit of salt and a bit of turmeric. Just a bit of cucumber in there. And roll. Ooh, steam there. Crockery is crisp. Lovely. Okay. And now for the Nigella moment. Let's cut it in half. You can hear that crisp. It sounds lovely. Just turn it so you can see. You can't really see inside because it's so thin. Maybe I should have rolled it more. Right, let me try a little bit. See if it tastes any different to the other way. I'm sure it doesn't. I hate this bit because in case I dribble it. Gorgeous. I actually think, whether it's because I made it thinner, but it's nicer than the other way. So far, pudding rice wins. Be careful which pudding rice you buy. Some of them, made in a factory, contains wheat gluten, blah blah blah. I personally never buy those sort of foods because I get too ill. So I bought one from Asda actually, and they didn't have any warnings on. In the interest of it looking beautiful and for a nice picture, and I've always wanted to say this, here's one I prepared earlier. Ta-da! Obviously, you can eat this like a roti if you want to, rather than a pancake. You can eat it like a roti. So you could just tear it off. I can't do this, I need the cameraman in a minute. So look at this. You grab your pancake. My husband, the cameraman, used to eat a lot at a friend's house whose parents were from the Punjab, and this is how you eat with roti. So you get your chicken in your bread, put a little bit of yogurt in it. Do I want to show him eating this? Is he ready to be on film?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Hang on, slowly. All in one go.
Delicious.
There you go. See, he's not that camera shy after all. There you go.
Gorgeous.
Take care.
Bye bye.
See you next week.